In this video, let us learn final keyword in Java. The final keyword in Java is a non-access modifier used to apply restrictions on variables, methods, and classes. In Java, the final keyword is used to denote constraints. It can be used with variables, methods, and classes. First, we will explore final variables. When a variable is declared final, its value cannot be reassigned. A blank final variable is a final variable that is not initialized at the time of declaration. It must be initialized in the constructor if it is an instance variable. Suppose if it is a static variable, a blank static variable can be initialized in a static block. For example, we'll take one final variable. It is a int x is equal to 250 and final static int y is equal to 550. First, we will explore variables. First, we need to create one class. The class name is final class with variables demo. The final class with variables demo. It is a main class. It should contain main method. Now we can create a one class demo 1. This particular class contain variables. First variable is final int x is equal to 100. And one more variable final static int y is equal to 200. So now we need to create an object for this particular class. In order to obj is equal to new demo1. In order to access this particular instance variable, which one x, we should have an object. So now we'll try to print it obj.x. Since it is a static variable, y is a static variable, we should not use object. That's the reason class name dot variable name y I need to use. As soon as if we can execute, it provides the corresponding result. It is the value of x, it is the value of constant variable y. Suppose our class contains final int a, that is one variable. This variable we haven't initialized. So if the final instance variable blank variable is available, that value we can able to initialize in a constructor of the same class. So a is equal to, you can write it as a 300. So similar way, here we can try to print the value of a. So since it is an instance variable based on the object only, we can able to access it. Similar way, suppose if you have one more variable, final static int b. It is a blank variable. The blank static variable can be initialized in a static block. So here b is equal to, we can able to specify 400. So now we can try to print the value of b. Now if we can specify, since it is a static variable, demo1.b only I need to specify. So now if we can try to execute the corresponding x value, it is a y value, it is a variable, it is a b variable, all the value we can able to display. For our better understanding purpose, I want to use x. So this one I would like to print as a y. And this one I would like to print as a x. So you don't need to write uppercase, just y. This one I want to print it as a, and this one I would like to print it as a b. Now if we can run, it provides the corresponding result. The observation is in this way. The final variables we cannot reinitialize, but if it is a instance final variable blank variable, or if it is a static blank variable, in this case we need to use constructor to assign a value to a instance final blank variable. We should use a static block for static final blank variable. So now we need to discuss about final methods. A final method cannot be overridden by any subclasses, ensuring that method's implementation remains unchanged, or the final modifier prevents a method from being modified in a subclass. So it means that a final superclass, the final method in a superclass cannot be overridden by the subclass. So we'll explore with one example. Suppose first we need to create a one class final class. So we need to write it as final method in superclass. Final method in superclass. First we need to specify the public static void main. It is the main class. Now I need to specify a class. We need to write it as a test1. So I'm just writing a method, final void show location, string location. We need to specify the string location. Now I would like to print the same value now. The location is, you can provide location. So but there is a one more class, test2 extends test1. So this class also contains same method with signature. This class also contains same method with signature. In this case, immediately start giving the compilation error. The definition is in this way. The superclass which contains final method, that method cannot be overriding by the subclass method. Suppose if it is not a final, yes, we can able to override. So based on the subclass object, we can able to access the subclass method and as well as superclass method. Since the method show location in superclass is a final, immediately start giving the compilation error. It represents the final methods which are available in superclass cannot be overriding by the subclass. In the next example, we will explore about final classes. When a class is declared final, it means at the class level we are specifying final. It cannot be extended or inherited by any other class. This is often used to create immutable classes or to prevent further modification of a class behavior through inheritance. So that represents a final class. We will go for one example now. To avoid the compilation error, I would like to comment for this particular one. We will create one separate class, final class example. It is the main class. That's the reason we need to specify the main method, and there is a class. The class is, suppose the class name is, instead of demo we can able to provide the class name is flower. So it contains one method void show name. String name, and this particular class we should specify the final, and I need to print the value now. The flower name We can just print it as a name. So there is one more class. The class is Lotus extends, which one means flower. As soon as the Lotus extends flower, it gives compilation error. It represents what? It represents the final class. It cannot be extended by any other class in Java. If a class has declared as final, that class cannot be extended by any other class. So this represents the final keyword. Thank you.